What color are your skies then?
There we go. Much better. We got like a 4-second delay. Okay, what color are our skies? Smog. She furrows her brow. The Industrial Revolution was the rise of civilization and the destruction of nature. We burned fuels which polluted the skies with smoke and harmful gases. Our oceans are full of waste and trash. And we've cut down our forests and turned them into housing developments.
But what about all the animals that live there?
They're suffering. We're suffering too, but we don't realize it yet.
How so?
Our cities are always shining bright, even at night, so people continue their days and never give their bodies a chance to rest. And we lived in cramped spaces like cages. Leanna frowns and pulls her knees in closer to her chest.
That sounds terrible.
I wonder, is there, There we go. Maybe I was being a little too harsh. There are some things which are still good. I admit that technology has made life a lot more convenient. Yes, we have replaced women with Japanese sex dolls. Plus, there are still people who are actively bringing awareness to these issues and fighting to save our planet. Leanna nods. She tilts her head back and returns her gaze to the sky. Underneath the moonlight, her pale skin seems to glow amidst the darkness. Her face softens as she smiles.
You're right. The stars really are beautiful.
We fall into a comfortable silence as we enjoy the tranquility of the night. After we finish eating and cleaning up, Zach approaches us.
It's getting late.
Leanna nods.
I'll take first watch so you can rest.
All right, I'll take second watch.
I guess that leaves me with the third. Zach stares unblinking at me while Leanna coughs nervously.
That's okay. We had an early start and I'm sure you're tired. We should rest up and sleep through the night.
Okay, we got our first split here. We got A, she's right, I'll do that. We got B, whatever. And we got C, do you guys not trust me? A, B, or C, guys. A, B, or C. We got one B. We got one B. We got one B. What else we got? What else we got? We got 2 for B. Okay. Since there are only 3 viewers, 2 is majority. It seems like these guys don't trust me or keeping watch. But I get it. If I had a choice, I wouldn't trust them either. I shrug. Good night then.
Good night!
Zach nods as Leanna and I crawl into our own bedrolls. It isn't long before I'm asleep. Wait, is this the scene? Yeah, this is, wow. A dull throbbing in my back pulls me awake. I hadn't fully appreciated the magic of mattresses until now. A yawn escapes and I stretch widely. Aside from the achiness, I actually feel well rested. I sit up and glance around. Zach leans against a tree with his head down. His hair covers his eyes, so I can't tell if they're open or closed. Regardless, his hands rest on the handles of his dischargers. Creepy. Oh, okay, so dischargers are like pistols. They discharge things. Discharge. Looking around again, I failed to spot Leanna. Where did she go? I think I hear her crying in the distance. Is that her? I should go investigate. Crossing over a hill, I see Leanna practicing in an open field. She grips her blade in a fighting stance, her face stern with concentration.
Ha!
Hey, it's my job to jump into conclusions and to entertain. She swings her blade in a high arc, ending with a graceful spin. Judging by how fluid and accurate her movement is, it's clear she's dedicated many years to perfecting her craft. Her hair whips around her as she turns, but never seems to blow in her face. Even with heavy armor, her movements are still nimble, as if she's wearing no armor at all. I wonder if all that has to do with her wind magic. When she notices me, she lowers her sword.
Oh, sorry. Did I wake you? I moved out here so I wouldn't disturb you.
No, I was already up. Didn't see you at camp. Came looking.
Gotcha. Boy!
Hey, look, it's Blobberetto! Welcome, Blobberetto, to the game. Stupid bongo. What? Glancing down at my feet, I spot the beaming Blobberetto. Leanna giggles.
Looks like you guys are best friends already.
I'm not friends with Blobberetto, fuck you. Oh, wow! 42, should I? Really? 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 I shrug. I don't think I have a choice in this friendship.
Aw, don't be like that. He likes you.
I look at the Blobberetto again. He seems even wider than before.
Boy!
It's pretty early. Do you always begin your mornings with a warm-up? Leanna nods.
It helps me wake up and prepare for the day ahead. Also, it's become a part of my routine, so it just doesn't feel right when I don't do it.
I know what you mean. I can't go through my morning routine from Earth here on Terra. It feels a bit strange.
Right.
Leanna looks down. The awkwardness creeps into the silence. She probably took that in a negative way, which wasn't my intention. That's okay though, I can always make a new routine!
New routine?
I unsheath my blade and I grip it. This morning practice you do seems like a good place to start. She grins.
Considering how well you handled yourself yesterday, I'm curious to see what's the extent of your skill set.
I smirk. Only one way to find out. So what's the lesson today, senpai?
Sand pie?
Senpai. I shake my head. Never mind. She blinks, then refocuses and matches my fighting stance by raising her sword.
Since you already have some experience with the blade, sparring will be the best way to gauge your skills.
Alright! We got... I'm ready! We got, I don't want to end up hurting you, or... Let's do this then. I'm ready! Nah, I'm ready! I tighten the grip on my blade. Ready when you are.
Here I come!
Leanna dashes towards me. Her movements seem slower than what they were during the bandit fight. It seems she isn't using her wind magic. Yay! Click the icons as fast as you can. I win. Even though I completely screwed that up, I won. Somehow I managed to keep pace with her. Every time I'm about to get the upper hand, her intensity increases until we're equally matched again. Even so, I could feel her holding back. Without using magic, mage knights are still a formidable opponent with the sword, especially if they're anything like Leanna. We go back and forth a few more swings until Leanna strikes from above. I hurriedly block with my sword, but I lose my balance in a hurry and topple to the ground, landing on my back. Oof! Leanna kneels down beside me.
Your fundamentals are solid. If you keep practicing, I'm sure you'll be a formidable warrior in no time.
That's pretty high praise when it's coming from you. She smiles and blushes. Leanna extends a hand and helps me back onto my feet.
It would be better if I could watch you spar with someone else. That way, I can see your movement from different angles and give you better feedback.
Oh, so you like to be the third wheel in this relationship? Okay. I never knew you liked watching. I mean, I guess she prefers watching than being interactive, I guess. Unless Blobberattle can use a sword, the only other option is Zack. I look around and spot Zack leaning against a tree close to our sparring location. He watches us with his arms crossed. Wait, how long has he been there? Leanna rushes over to him.
Zack! Would you be willing to duel with him?
She points to me.
I'd like to get a better look at his technique.
He merely stares at her.
Oh, right. You need a blade.
Leanna hands her blade to Zack. He takes it from her and inspects it.
What are the rules of the duel?
Standard spar. Be the first one to knock your opponent to the ground.
Zack nods and heads towards the field. As Leanna returns to me, we share a glance. That was surprisingly easy. I guess it's not a mercenary's nature to back down from a fight, even if it's a fake one.
Are you two ready?
I step a decent distance away from Zack and ready my blade. Yep. Zack continues to stand there. I look at Leanna again and she just shrugs. He nods.
Okay, begin!
I rush forward. And I'm suddenly on the ground, staring up at the sky with an aching pain in my chest with the wind knocked out of me. I groan.
Strange. I thought he'd last at least 2 shots.
Zack!
He uses disruptor or phaser or discharger or whatever the hell they... Yeah, I know, he shot me. Just like no, just like the father, because I was marrying my mother, his lover, his girl, who happened to also be a boy. I got shot again. No. No. Oh, she looks pissed. Look how pissed off she looks.
What?
What?
Why did you use your discharger?
Why not?
Exactly. Leanna steps forward.
The whole point was to have a sword match with him.
You didn't list that as a rule.
Technically, she didn't. Technically, she did not list that as a rule. Her frustration is evident in her voice.
Why else would I give you my sword?
Why did you give me your sword?
Her sword is right here. Why? She didn't give him the sword. Her sword's right there. So did she really give him her sword?
For you to use!
She snatches her blade back from Zack and hands over to me. She didn't Yeah.
Are you hurt?
Yeah, they didn't just spread it. Okay. A or B? I think so, or my pride. B. We got 1 B. We got 2 B. So that's what it feels like to me to be emasculated twice. My gaze drifts past Leanna to the blue sky beyond her. At least the view is nice. Leanna helps me up again.
The one and only lesson you need to know when fighting. Do whatever it takes to win.
As soon as he's done speaking, Zack turns around and heads back to the campsite. Leanna huffs. Hey, 42, you wanted us to be the asshole. We're being out assholed.
Mercenaries can be so annoying sometimes.
Yes, they can be annoying. Okay. A, B, or C. We got A, which is agreed. B is he's probably seen some heavy stuff. Or C, his advice is relevant. We got two A's, so we got agreed. I won't argue with that. We pack up our things and clean the campsite. Then we continue our journey. As we walk, we slip into a comfortable silence. Zack lingers behind Leanna and I, while Blobberetto returns to his usual spot on my hand. After a few hours, it doesn't feel like we're getting any closer. So, how long until we reach Illumina?
We'll need to stop at Raven Pass to restock and spend the night. But if we continue to make good time, we'll reach Illumia by midday tomorrow.
One more day of walking. If only I bought my Fit, I would have my daily steps done for a lifetime. I nod and we fall back into silence. By mid-afternoon, we arrive at the gates of a settlement even smaller than Meadow Hill Village. The town consists of an inn and a few shops, bare essentials. They probably ever see travelers like us, people passing through on their way to Illumina.
Okay, we should stock up on supplies.
I'll be making a stop at the weaponsmith.
Jack pats his two holstered dischargers on his side. Now I think about it, I only saw him use one during the bandit ambush. The other one must have already been damaged.
I'll check out the shop since my weapons are okay on repairs.
I'll go with you. Leanna smiles. Zack nods.
See you soon then.
He turns down another path.
Let's go!
Leanna smiles back at me as she leads the way to the shops. Wait up! No, he only used one. I think he's a dual wielder. So he has like two dischargers. Well, from what we can tell, the dischargers run on magic crystals. So, do magic crystals need to be recharged, or do the magic crystals just come naturally? Like, through... Like, how does that work? Meh. We find a general store with ease, since the marketplace itself is quite small. In fact, surprised by how busy the store is. I guess you're the only general store around here. Business is bound to be. Good. As Leanna packs out a couple items, I look around the shop. I notice people of all backgrounds wearing clothes ranging from leather I've seen in Middle Hills to intricately embroidered robes. They really do get all types of traveling through here. Once Leanna is finished, I follow her to the counter to pay for our items.
Will that be all for today?
Leanna nods.
Your total comes to 34 coins.
Leanna's eyes widen.
34 coins for these? It should be at most 30.
The shopkeeper frowns apologetically. He doesn't seem too happy about the price either.
I'm sorry, miss. The goods themselves are only 20 coins. The rest of the cost is the 70% tax.
Okay, next, we got A or B, and I thought taxes in America were bad, or stay quiet. A, okay, we got A. I hope you at least get free universal health insurance and education with those taxes. Both Leanna and the shopkeeper look at me in confusion. Leanna furrows her brow.
I don't remember the tax being so high in the past.
The mayor only recently increased the tax.
Has no one asked why? It doesn't seem fair.
The man nods.
We did in the beginning, but then the mayor hired enforcers of the new law.
Leanna frowns but doesn't say anything more. The shopkeeper continues to look apologetic as he gestures at her items.
I'm really sorry about this, miss, but I don't have any other choice.
I understand. It's not your fault.
She hands over the coins.
Thank you for understanding. Safe travels.
As we head out, Leanna seems quieter than usual. Are you okay?
Something about this just doesn't seem right. New tax rules and new guards to enforce them? I came through here only a few days ago on my way to Meadow Hill, and the tax hadn't been changed then. It all seems too sudden.
Okay, A, let's investigate. B, we got scammed. Or C, this doesn't concern us. Okay, we got 2 B's. I doubt the tax is really at 70%. It was probably just a pity story he was used to extort money from us. Leanna looks unsure.
I don't know about that. Anyway, let's go meet up with Zach.
I nod. We make our way to the lane of armory and smiths and peek through a few shop windows before Zach. A guard looms over him. Uh-oh, this doesn't look promising. Leanna frowns as we enter the shop.
This doesn't concern you. Stay out of it.
It became my concern when you threatened him in front of me.
Threatened? All I told him was what may happen to his store if he doesn't pay up for these protective services.
Leave. Now.
The guard laughs.
What makes you think I'd listen to you?
Zach glares as the guard as he flips open his coat and he reveals his discharger. He grips the second discharger on the table. The color drains from the guard's face.
2 dischargers with purple spheres and a black trench coat. It can't be.
Zach shifts slightly, increasing the veracity in his eyes. The guard tries to hide his fear with false bravado. He turns toward the shopkeeper.
You're lucky your friend was here today. He won't always be here, though.
After imparting one less subtle threat, the guard hurries out of the shop, brushing past Leanna and I. Zach relaxes in the shopkeeper, sighs in relief.
Thank you.
That have to do with this new tax you mentioned?
The shopkeeper nods.
The taxes just keep growing. I've tried to keep my prices as low as possible for the customers, but then our taxes grow and, well, you saw what happens next.
His fingers tremble as he takes back the discharger. I think he's still shaken up by what happened.
I'm sorry. I still need a few more minutes to finish up the repairs. It would have been done by now if we hadn't been interrupted.
Zach nods. The weaponsmith gives him a grateful smile as he returns to his workroom. Tax issues again.
It looks like it's affecting all of the stores.
And it's only gonna get worse.
I'm not going to let it escalate.
Leanna and I glance at Zach in surprise.
You two head to the inn. I have something to take care of first.
What are you planning to do?
I'm going to pay a visit to the mayor.
Okay, we got A, B, and C. Will help? A good Samaritan mercenary or stay quiet? A gun for hire working for free? For a second, a shadow of regret crosses his face so quickly, I wonder if I actually saw it. It's soon replaced by his usual blank stare.
I'm sure a sizable reward will be offered by the shopkeepers for lowering their taxes.
Now I know he's just acting tough. Even if the shopkeepers did want to give a reward, I doubt they have the money for it right now. Leanna frowns.
As much as I disagree with your reasoning, I also want to get to the bottom of this.
I'm in too. The shopkeeper returns and places Zach's discharger on the counter.
All fixed.
Thanks. Here.
Zach offers coin to the vendor who shakes his head.
Please, don't worry about it. You've already done me a huge favor by helping me with the guard.
Zach holsters his discharger and places the coins on the counter anyways.
I insist.
The shopkeeper looks conflicted, then sighs and nods gratefully. Zach leads the way out of the shop and through the town. His footsteps are long and full of purpose, with a charge which is a change from his quiet, cautious demeanor. I can't help but look at him with a newfound respect. This is the first time I've seen him so determined and driven. Soon we arrive in front of a large, elaborate mansion. It looks very out of place compared to the modest shops the rest of town. 2 men guard the entrance. Zach pauses and sizes up the guards. Okay, we got A. Use the element of surprise for 2 quick sneak attacks. And talk your way in. We should ask them if we can see the mayor.
I doubt that would work.
It doesn't hurt to try.
Zach frowns, but after some thoughts, he nods.
We'll try that first. If that fails, we go to Plan B.
Always Plan B! Plan B? Zach has already moved towards the guards and doesn't hear my question. I face Leanna. Do you know what Plan B is? She shakes her head.
Let's just hope it doesn't resort to that.
We catch up to Zach.
Halt! What is your business here?
We're here to see the mayor.
Does he expect your audience?
Zach shakes his head.
No, but I need to speak with him about this latest tax hike.
I'm sure that's not the only thing she said. She shakes first. No, but I need to speak with him about the latest tax hike.
The tax hike?
The guards glance at each other and lower their weapons slightly. It almost seems that they disapprove of the taxes too.
You guys don't seem too happy with the taxes either.
One of the guards hesitates, then nods.
My sister runs the bakery in town, and the taxes have been hurting her business.
Then why haven't you done anything about it?
We tried, as have some of the other guards. When we protested, the treasurer recommended the mayor hire real guards.
He glowers as he mentions the treasurer.
Treasurer?
Yeah, things have gotten really strange ever since he came to town. Suddenly the mayor is passing crazy rules he never would have passed before.
The other guard elbows his comrade.
Quiet down. Do you want one of his lackeys to hear?
The first guard frowns and falls silent. Leanna raises a hand to her chin in thought.
This treasurer sounds really suspicious.
The guard motions to her manipulator.
Wait, you're a mage knight?
Leanna blinks.
Yes, that's correct.
Can you scan the treasurer for magic use? I swear, he's doing...
Not your crazy theories again. They already have a court mage to see to that.
Yes, a court mage who was assigned by the treasurer.
The second guard frowns but doesn't reply.
If we let you through, will you just scan around and see if you notice anything?
Yeah, she's blinking. With her big bug eyes. Leanna nods.
Yes, I'll do what I can.
I just noticed that her skirt waves too.
Just be careful. Some of the treasurer's hired guards may not be so fond of you poking around.
Both guards step to the side.
On your way.
Let's go.
Zack leads the way again. We follow behind Liana. We follow behind as Liana fiddles with her manipulator. As we progress through the mansion, we pass unnoticed by the clerks and guards milling about. They must assume we have some reason to be here. If not, if we got through the front door. Liana stares intently at her manipulator. Her brow furrows in confusion.
This doesn't make any sense.
What is it?
The readings. They're so erratic. It's almost like but there can't be.
There's what?
Shadow magic.
Shadow magic? Ooh. Zack looks sharply at Liana.
Shadow magic.
She reluctantly nods. Zack sets his jaw and tightens the grip on his dischargers. Uh-oh. So, shadow magic. Someone mind telling me what that is?
It's forbidden magic.
She entirely focused on her manipulator.
It's coming from...
She jogs down the hallway and stops in front of mahogany double doors. Mahogany. These doors were forged from the fire force of Melchior 7.
Behind there.
Suddenly, a voice calls out from behind us.
It's you!
It's me? Standing down the hall is the same guard from the shop.
How did you get in here? Intruders!
All eyes fall on us as he begins yelling. The guards who previously ignored us now draw their weapons as they close in. Zack pulls out his dischargers.
You go deal with whatever that is. I'll keep them busy here.
Zack kicks down one of the tables and drops behind him for cover.
Go! Now!
As he raises guns, purple energy swirls to life. He rains a hail of energy bolts down the hall in suppressive fire. Liana bursts through the doors and I stay at her heels. The noise from the battle gradually fades away as we run deeper into the mansion. Eventually, the hall leads into a study, a carved wooden desk laden with books and ledgers. It is in the center with bookcases surrounding it. A man wearing a hooded robe sits at the desk. He scribbles something with one hand while the other hand is hidden within his robe. An older man sits on the other side of the desk. His graying hair sticks out in strange angles and his embroidered clothes are slightly askew. He stares at the open ledgers on the desk, but his eyes are dull as if they aren't really seeing it. Two guards stand in the doorway as still as statues with those same dull eyes. The treasurer raises to his feet.
Who let these two in? I explicitly said no visitors.
Liana's manipulator pulses wildly, especially when he raises her arm towards him.
It's him! He's the source of the shadow magic!
Neither the mayor nor the guards react.
How dare you make such accusations! Arrest her immediately!
The guards ready their weapons. Stop, we aren't here to fight you.
It's no use! He's influencing them with shadow magic!
A gust of wind gathers around Liana, violently whipping her hair and clothes. It concentrates into her gauntleted palm and she hurls it at them. The wind knocks the guards against the wall and blows open the robe of the treasurer, exposing his hidden hand. Within his palm is a dark crystal sphere. It looks like a marble of darkness and swirling smoke. From within the crystal are shadowed tendrils which extend to the mayor and the two unconscious guards. Liana's voice is flat when she speaks. I've never heard her sound so serious before.
A tainted spear, and the branding of void.
You have seen too much.
Her voice is strong with this woman. The treasurer raises the black sphere high in shadow and she shoots straight towards Liana. She raises her hand and creates another ball of wind when she fires at the shadowy bolt. The shadow ball cuts through Leanna's magic like a knife through butter, and her wind scatters harmlessly into the room. Freeze or push her out of the way. Freeze or push her out of the way. If we push her out of the way, that means she does not get hit by the energy attack. If we freeze, nothing happens to us, but she could get attacked. If we're gonna be assholes, don't we want to just freeze? Oh, we're doing this right today? Oh, so yesterday we were assholes, now we're doing this right today? Okay, so we're gonna push her out of the way. I did not get that memo. Did you use the right TPS report? You didn't use the right TPS report. Now I gotta send my your five bosses just to hound you because you did not use the right TPS report to give me this report that we're doing this the right way. Leela! I dash toward her and knock her out of the way. I take the full brunt of the shadow blast and I'm flung back against the wall. Agony sears my body. I grit through the pain and look back at Leanna. It doesn't look like any of the magic hit her. She rushes over, her face a mix of bewilderment and concern. You got this? Painful AF or ... Feels like my body is being eaten from the inside out. If it's alright with you, I think I'll lay down for a bit. Leanna furrows her brow, concerned. Can you go deal with him so my suffering is not in vain, please and thanks? Leanna unsheaths her blade. A determined fire in her eyes, she faces the treasure and raises her sword. Look at that picture! Look at that image! That's a screenshot! That is a pic! That is... like, background... Wait. Yeah, that's definitely... And the music! Wait, let me raise the volume up. That music. Her manipulator glows with power, which flows into her blade, encasing it in a similar glow. Magic particles swirl around as static sparks of energy lash out from her weapon. In an instant, she dashes towards the treasure at an inhumane speed. He fires 2 shadow bolts, but Leanna uses her blade to cut through the air and shoots off 2 slices of energy which cut through the shadow magic.
What?
Yeah!
Leanna lunges and charges her blade towards the treasurer. Exclamation point. Just before her sword would pierce him, the treasurer throws his tainted spear to the ground. The shadows apart and a shadowy mist leaks out of the orb, encasing the room in a dark fog. The thick fog clouds my vision, and I can't see anything as it slowly begins to fade. I make out Leanna watching her surroundings, but the treasure is nowhere to be seen. When she doesn't see her enemy, the glow of her sword fades away. And so does the music. That was good music too.
Oh.
The mayor lets out a throaty groan. He rubs at his head, his eyes now looking groggy. Like someone who had just woken up. See, this is a good anime! series storyline. But no, only 3 people are watching it. Come on, tell the guys in the Incursion channel and the other Discord channels to get their asses over here.
What is...
Leanna sheathed her blade.
Take it easy. You were under the effects of shadow magic.
shadow magic?
She shakes her head as if to free his thoughts. He must be trying to shake off the lingering effects of the magic.
Is it finally over?
Leanna nods. The mayor takes a few minutes to compose himself. When his eyes seem more focused, he sighs in relief.
You have my thanks.
Suddenly, the door barges open and Zack races in. Behind him, a wave of guards.
Stop him!
He's with us!
The mayor stands unsteadily at his feet, but addresses the guards.
Leave them be! But they... I said leave them be!
They hesitate and shoot confused glances at each other, but ultimately follow their orders and lower their weapons.
Took you guys long enough.
He looks at me.
What are you doing down there?
I groan as I rotate onto my back. Leanna offers me a hand, which I accept.
He took a shadow blast.
That sounds so wrong.
Aimed for me.
Aww. Zack blinks in surprise but looks impressed.
Seems like you ended up being useful after all.
Thanks. Leanna checks her manipulator, but it remains still.
The shadow magic is gone.
The mayor seems much more alert.
It was my treasurer, wasn't it?
Leanna nods. He sighs heavily and sits back down in his chair.
When he first arrived into town, I thought he would be like all the other travelers and go on his way. But he said he knew how to make this town even greater than what it is now. He had ideas on how we could become more than just a wayward stop. The first step was to increase taxes to build up our treasury.
He hangs his head in his hands.
All I wanted was to help the people here have better lives, but all I've done is cause them suffering.
You weren't in control of yourself.
But it was me who made all the rulings and enforced those tax laws.
Leanna shakes her head.
It wasn't you. That man had a tainted sphere, and he was using it to influence you.
The mayor leans back. He looks tired, as if a huge weight was dropped on him.
I don't deserve to continue as mayor of this town.
One of the guards steps forward.
That's not true.
I look over at the voice and recognize him as one of the guards formerly controlled by shadow magic.
I know what it's like when he used that magic. All I could think about was how I could become an honor guard. The thought was overwhelming and I'd do anything to achieve it. I know that wasn't the real you, Mayor.
The other formerly controlled steps forward and nods.
Me too. Little Garrett still plays with the toy sword you gave him for his birthday. Says he's practicing for when he joins the guard too.
The other guards in the room murmur their assent.
There's nobody who can run this town better than you.
The mayor glances at the hopeful faces of his guards in the small town. I can't believe that he knows each of them by name. Finally, he gives them a weak smile.
I suppose somebody needs to clean up this mess.
He gets back to his feet and turns to us.
I don't know how to thank you for what you've done for us.
Leanna smiles warmly.
I'm glad we were able to help.
Zack and I nod.
You must be exhausted. Please, feel free to stay at Raven Pass for as long as you like. You are always welcome here.
Thank you.
The 3 of us leave the mayor to his business and head out of the mansion. Once outside, I glance up at the darkened sky. Leanna mirrors my movements.
We should rest up for the night.
Agreed.
I nod.
I saw the inn back towards the shops.
Zach leads the way. After turning down a side street, we see the light and sign for the Hog's Head Inn. I stifle a yawn as we head inside. Zach and I sit down at a table when Leanna speaks with the innkeeper. She returns to the room keys, looking a bit shocked. Wordlessly, she passes one to Zach. What's going on?
The innkeeper refused to let us pay for the rooms or food. Said it was by order of the mayor, and one he would have.
That was really nice of him. She nods. Another silence falls over us, but this one feels natural and not a bit uncomfortable. After a few minutes, the staff brings out 3 steaming bowls and places one in front of each of us. Once the bowl hits the table, Zach digs in with gusto and practically inhales his food. Leanna and I share a look before we grab our spoons. Ah, stew again. She nods.
It's hearty and filling.
Rabbit again?
Actually, this time it's venison.
Venison, okay. I take a bite. Okay, A, B, or C? Better than rabbit? Even more gross, or taste the same? We're back to being I didn't think this was possible, but this is even more, different. Leanna pouts in disappointment.
I actually like venison more than rabbit, and thought maybe you would too. I'm sorry.
Aw, you hurt her feelings, guys! You hurt her feelings! Now, how are we supposed to share a room with her tonight? I mean, you hurt her feelings. Now she's not going to, stroke the blob. Nah, tickle the blob. There you are. It's alright. I'm just not used to it. I try not to wince every time I use my spoon. The fire has erased out of my body, but my shoulder still throbs from when I landed on the ground. Leanna glances at me, then gets up and walks to the innkeeper. She returns to the compress in her hand. She offers it to me with a smile.
This should help with the pain.
So could those hands, but you know you are a blonde. You know, massages also help, but what do I know? I'm just a girl. I held it against my shoulder and smiled, appreciatively as the pain slowly melts into a dull ache.
Thanks for helping me back there.
I smile. Anytime. I continue digging into my meal. So what exactly makes shadow magic bad?
It's far more dangerous than any other elemental magic, and it's incredibly unstable and volatile. The most serious thought of shadow magic is how it's able to amplify the shadowy thoughts of someone's mind.
So the treasurer was manipulating what the mirror was already feeling. She nods.
He might have wanted to help the town by looking to expand, but there's also a bit of selfishness on his part for wanting to do that too. Either greed from more money coming in and more luxurious goods, or wanting more fame and recognition.
Everyone has thoughts like that. It's just a matter of keeping those thoughts in check.
Leanna nods.
Shadow magic, unfortunately, lets those desires loose in a destructive way.
Is there any way to block against it?
Unless you are a mage, not really.
Leanna picks at her food.
Most people can't control the magic well, and it's very easy for it to backfire and cause more harm to the caster than the intended target.
That treasure seems to be handling it well. She looked even more worried.
I know, which is even more troubling considering the fact that shadow magic is outlawed in Havengard.
Zach pushes his now empty bowl away from him.
I think he's part of Void.
frown deepens.
I think so too. I noticed the branding on his forearm.
What's void?
They're practitioners of shadow magic. They first rose to power during the struggle of the Three Kingdoms, before the Treaty of Azaria.
Azaria? Okay.
They wanted to grow their power in the outreach of shadow magic, and a lot of innocent people were killed in the process. At the height of their power, they grew so powerful and were so destructive that the Three Kingdoms had to set aside their differences and band together.
That's when the treaty was formed. Part of the agreement was to outlaw shadow magic.
Are you really telling me it took 3 kingdoms to take down one cult?
Shadow magic is a lot more powerful than any other elemental magic, which is why there are people who still want to practice it. It's impossible to stabilize the magic, so it's deemed too dangerous to be used.
Zack nods. I see. No wonder both Leanna and Zack seemed so grim when they first noticed the shadow magic. I stifle another yawn.
Is everyone done eating?
Zack and I both nod.
Then I suggest we head to bed.
I second that motion. I'm exhausted.
I know.
She grins and I can feel a rush of warmth in my face. I guess she saw my yawn. Zack leads the way upstairs, clutching one of the keys. We stop in front of the 2 adjoining doors.
Well, good night then.
Good night. Zack nods. Leanna turns the key and lets herself into the room. Then gently closes the door behind her. Zack also turns the key and lets himself into the second room. As I'm about to follow him in, the door slams shut. Very funny. I turn the handle, but it's locked. What the hell? Zack, let me in. He ignores me, so I pound on the door. Come on, let me in. He doesn't answer, but a couple of people poke their heads out of the rooms and glare at me. Okay, should we try be more quiet? Should we try Leanna's room, or should we try again? This is ridiculous. I knock on Leanna's door. Leanna? She opens the door a crack, then pulls it open all the way when she recognizes me. Her brows are creased with worry.
Is something wrong?
Yes, something's wrong. Zack's being an ass. Zack's being mean, or yes, I want to stay with you. I guess you guys are gonna say B, so I'll just go ahead with B. No, I was just thinking it would be nice if we spent the night together. She narrows her eyes and slams the door shut. Denied. Damn, that's 2 for 2. Be more quiet or try again. I continue hammering repeatedly on the door. I can keep this up all night. That's what I said. Suddenly the door swings open and I walk in. The first thing I noticed were the 2 twin beds. Oh, he tried to get on his door, not on her door. Lame. Zack lunges on one and fixes the stony gaze on me. What the hell was that? Why didn't you let me in?
No space.
No space? There are 2 beds! Zack wordlessly walks over to the other bed and pulls the blankets tucked inside the bed are both of his dischargers. Not cool, man. Not cool. I go to remove the weapons.
What are you doing?
This is my bed.
But then where will they sleep?
I look at him. Finally, he sighs and collects his dischargers. I lie on the bed, and as soon as my head hits the pillow, I am asleep. I Rudely awakened by boisterous yells, I blink my eyes open and see the Pongo planted on Zach's face. Good Blobberetto! What is going on? Zach leaps off the bed, continues his scolding, and the Pongo scurries under the pillow. I think you scared Blobberetto.
Get out of there!
He snatches the pillow to reveal the Pongo constantly blobbing over his dischargers. The Pongo's eyes are slitted shut, and he wears a silly grin.
Don't even think about it!
Zach scoops up his discharges and forcibly gives them a shake. The Pongo's eyes snap open as he wobbles in the air, clinging for dear life.
Poi!
Zach doesn't cease his shaking, and somehow the Pongo seems to be hanging on.
Poi!
His small body jiggles up and down until he finally bounces to the floor.
Poi poi!
He glares daggers at Zach while he's too busy inspecting his dischargers to notice. There's a sharp knock on the door. Barely comprehending what's going on, I shuffle to the door and open it a crack.
I heard yelling. Is everything
She cuts off mid-sentence and her eyes grow wide. I look behind me and see Zach dangling his dischargers high in the air while the Pongo leaps up to reach it.
These aren't for you to absorb!
Poi!
I'll just wait for you guys downstairs.
Before I can answer, she turns around and walks away. I can't blame her for that. I close the door and start getting dressed. So wait, she walks in and I'm naked? And she doesn't say anything about that. But she's concerned about Blobberetto. A long while later, I emerge from the room with the Pongo sitting on my head. Zach has his dischargers back in their holsters and shoulders his pack. We head downstairs and meet Leanna, who is waiting at one of the tables.
Is everyone ready?
Yep.
Yeah. As long as that thing doesn't come near my dischargers again.
Poi poi!
The Pongo sticks out his tongue. Leanna speaks before the two of them can start again.
All right, then let's hit the road.
With one final nod, she leads the way out of the inn and back into town. The rest of the journey towards Illumina is peaceful yet uneventful. The Pongo snoozes on my head for most of the way there. Leanna frequently sneaks a peek at him and smiles to herself. Zach keeps to himself and continues to be in the lead for fewest lines spoken. By midday, I can see the stone buildings of Illumina. We make it through the city gates without incident. Unlike the quaint houses of Meadow Hill Village, Illumina is built taller and grander. There is more noise and people to fill the streets. Zach stares down a side street.
This is me.
I crane my neck and peer into an alcove.
It's a shortcut to the inn.
Leanna nods.
Safe travels. Hopefully our paths will cross again.
No! I don't want to deal with him!
Good luck at the Mage Academy.
He heads into the alley. Do you think we'll ever see him again? She shrugs.
Mercenaries have a way of just popping up. Let's keep moving. The Mage Academy is straight ahead, closer to the center of town.
You would know about mercenaries just having a way of popping up with their dischargers. She points to a looming tower with a high steeple. As we get closer, I see that the tower is attached to a castle. Whoa, you studied here?
Yep.
It definitely looks prestigious. She notices my wander.
What's your academy like?
Liberal arts college, party school, or normal university? Are you just gonna be the entire day? party school. A paradise where alcohol is flowing.
Isn't that distracting? What do you learn there?
How a boy becomes a man. Leanna blinks and her cheeks redden. I love how the way he says that, and then it's like the way her response.
That's a class?
That's a class. Yes, that is a class. It's more of a self-study. I'm a very hands-on learner. Would you like a demonstration?
I'll pass, thanks.
Oh, rejected. Leanna increases her pace, and I rush to keep up. We begin making our way towards the grand streets of Illumina. Once we arrive at the academy, Leanna pushes right through the wrought iron gates and leads me across the expansive quad. The students pass by in flocks, chatting animatedly. Each of them wears nearly identical long cloaks, differing only in color. Leanna glances excitedly at a girl wearing a white cloak. Do you know her?
No, but we're in the same house.
What does that mean?
You can tell by her cloak. White means she's learning wind magic.
I pay more attention to specific colors. There is not a high suicide rate because of me. Asshole. What? I pay more attention to the specific colors. There's red, white, blue, and green. I bet I can guess which color represents what. Wind is white. Leanna nods. Red is fire, blue is water, and green is earth. She grins.
You got it.
Wait. Yeah. We walk past an enclosed field. A young man sporting a green cloak holds a book in one hand and with his other hand aims his manipulator straight in front of him. His mouth is pressed in concentration and beads of sweat line his forehead. After a few intense moments, the earth rumbles beneath him and dirt spikes shoot out of the ground. That was awesome!
Come on!
Leanna pulls my arm, reverting my attention back to the tasks at hand. We enter the east wing of the castle and into an open foyer. There's only a scattering of students walking around these halls, and most are accompanied by an adult wearing glowing black robes. I assume they must be the professors. Leanna scans each professor as we pass, as if looking for someone specific. She leads me up a winding staircase, then grins when she spots an older man with graying hair. His robes are pleated with white stripes, and he carries a staff in one hand.
Professor Orin!
He turns to the sound of his name and matches Leanna's grin.
Leanna, one of my best and brightest. What a pleasant surprise.
She smiles bashfully at the compliment.
It's great to see you again.
Oh, so she's into older guys. Okay. That's why she's been rejecting all of our advances. She's into older guys.
What brings you to the academy?
Actually, I'm here on official business. I'm sure you've heard of the random concentrations of magical energy by now.
He nods.
Well, I found someone who was directly impacted.
She gestures to me. I shift awkwardly as his gaze falls on me. Though he looks intently at me, I can sense his curiosity.
What exactly do you mean by impacted?
I was investigating a report of unusual magic energy in Meadow Hill, and it turns out the concentrated energy originated from him.
Professor Orn raises a skeptical eyebrow.
That level of energy would tear a human apart from the inside. Are you sure you weren't mistaken?
My manipulator read the energy level. Maybe we can use the Academy's equipment to scan him again.
Yes, let's do that.
He motions for us to follow him, then turns down the hallway. We arrive in a spacious room. There's a large device in one end of the room which is separated by a wall of glass. The device has 2 panels on the side which stretch up about 8 feet off the ground. On the other side of the room are handfuls of students and professors. They consistently focus their manipulators in what I assume to be magical tests, and every so often jot down notes. A couple of pongos openly roam about the room, mostly ignored by the people. If one wanders a little too close to a crystal, a student chases it away, otherwise they'll leave each other be. I thought you said pongos were really welcome in society. Leanna looks fondly around the room, a reminiscent smile on her face.
They aren't, but mages tend to like them. Pongos absorb residue energy on the mage from casting, which is surprisingly nice. Kind of feels like a gentle massage.
Oh. Professor Orn gives her a soft nudge.
Go ahead.
She nods and turns to me.
We're gonna take another scan of you now.
You're talking about that huge thing behind the glass, right?
Yeah. It looks intimidating, but it functions the same way as my manipulator.
Alright. One of the students leads me to the device and has me stand between the 2 panels. There is a crystal mounted on top of each panel. As he closes the glass door behind him, a quiet murmuring of voices is muted into silence. A soft light emits between the crystals and slowly descends towards my head, passing through my torso and disappearing at my feet. Once the light is gone, the same student lets me back into the room. Professor Orn looks grave, while Leanna's mouth is pressed into a firm frown.
This can't be right. Maybe we should scan him again.
Leanna, the levels that you reported would have killed this young man.
Even so, how is it possible that this scan shows he has 0 magical energy?
She holds out her manipulator, just as we first met. A pale light glows. Unlike our initial meeting, she holds her manipulator closer to me. The light remains unchanged. Leanna's face falls. Professor Orn puts a comforting hand on her shoulder.
Had he just cast it? Perhaps it was magical residue which you had read. As you know, that tends to slowly leave the body after each magic use.
Yes, I just cast it. I'm at a party, college, where all we learn is how to make boys into men. So yes, we just did cast. It just happened so that we cast it before we transported to this planet. She shakes her head.
It was too high a reading to just be residue.
Defend Leanna or don't get involved. Defend Leanna, don't get involved. Which one, guys? A or B? A? Okay, we're defending Leanna. The last time Leanna used a scanner thing like that glowy light was pulsing like crazy, I was almost flatlined. It was beeping so much. Professor Orn seemed intrigued.
Then perhaps it was a faulty reading from your manipulator.
Perhaps.
I can hear the skepticism in her voice. It seemed to be working fine before. Leanna shakes her head as if asking me not to continue.
I should get back to my students, but I hope I get to see you again.
Professor Orn gives Leanna's shoulders one last comforting squeeze before he leaves. While our discussions have been taking place, I noticed the pongos would watch me with interest. A green one starts to gravitate towards us. Maybe it's interested in Leanna's magic, but then why does it look like it's heading towards me?
Poi?
I look down and see my wobbly blue friend at my feet. Hey, you're back.
Poi!
Blobberetto's back. Welcome, people. Blobberetto, welcome back to the party. He bounces on the ground and fixes me with his white smile. Suddenly he stops and stares at the green pondo, who back at him, he hops towards it and grins.
Poi. Poi poi. Poi.
My Pongo's eyes widen.
Poi. Poi poi.
The green Pongo grins and hops away, and my Pongo follows it. I have no idea what just happened, but why do you feel all warm and fuzzy inside? As the Pongos run off, a professor in a wheelchair rolls toward me. Us. Though he's lost all his hair, he doesn't seem as old as some of the others.
Leanna,
She doesn't bother containing her surprise.
Professor Xavier!
Professor Xavier! The Professor Xavier? Pleasure to meet you, or what am I thinking? See? What am I thinking? See? I stare at him and channel my thoughts. I know your secret, and I won't join you. Train me as one of your mutants. He glances uncomfortably at me.
are you feeling alright, young man?
I'm feeling just fine, thank you. Both he and Leanna share confused glances.
Alright then.
Aha, I knew it! He looks at Leanna again and she shrugs.
Professor, is there something I can help you with?
Leanna, how high was your original energy reading?
In the thousands.
He creases his brow and ponders quietly.
Tell me, are you familiar with the theory of temporal rifts?
Leanna and I both shake our heads.
In the most basic sense, a temporal rift occurs when the fabric of the universe is torn. In the midst of this tear, there is a moment where the parallel worlds overlap.
Wouldn't that be a parallel rift instead of a temporal rift? Because wouldn't a temporal rift mean that there's a rift in the time stream where current time and past time or current time and future time collide? But a parallel rift would be where if there's a rift between parallel worlds occur. Leanna and I glance sharply at each other. Would it be possible to cross between these worlds?
It may be in theory, but it'd be very difficult. After all, that type of travel between worlds would require an immense amount of energy, an amount that no human would be able to manipulate and survive. That's why most elders have dismissed this as nonsense, but listening to all that's been said today, it coincides quite closely with this theory.
For the first time since we've arrived at the school, I feel a glimmer of hope. What more can you share about this theory?
Well, not much, I'm afraid. As I said, most consider it to be either nonsense or too inconsequential to waste their time on. Although there is one man who spent his life developing and researching this theory. He used to be an instructor of this academy.
Is he still in Illumia?
Unfortunately, he left many years ago in search of Ember Mist.
Leanna purses her lips.
The Hidden City.
He nods. If it's hidden, I'm guessing it would be hard to find. Before he can respond, a student with two long pigtail strides over.
Please allow me to accompany you on your quest.
Pink-haired girl! Okay. Really? Really? New target? Wait, okay. Okay. I do have to give you guys a little bit of a, spoiler. There this is a game where you can end up with one of the girls at the end of the game, and depending on the actions we take in the game, develops the storyline towards the person. But we have not gotten there yet. I think it occurs after we go to Ember Mist. Because we pick up another follower. I know, spoilers, I know, I'm sorry. So the question is, with that comment being new target, are we going to target our discharger towards Leanna's holster? Are we going to want to have our discharger holstered by this pink-haired girl, or holstered by girl 3? But we're not there yet, but I have to give you guys, yes, there is a third girl. As I said, this is spoilers. So, I'm just giving you guys this heads up, because if we keep continuing towards the whole we gotta be assholes, you know, we might end up not with a completely bad end. So, keep that in mind, and let's continue. Professor Xavier replies sternly.
Absolutely not.
Could you elaborate on your disapproval? This is an excellent opportunity to further my research and education.
This is not a Mage Academy-sponsored expedition, so there won't be mages around to protect you. It's a dangerous journey, especially given the fact that no one knows the location of Ember Mist.
The girl stays silent, and I can practically see the cogs in her head spinning as she contemplates the words. Finally, she nods.
Understood.
As soon as she finishes speaking, she turns unreal and walks away. What just happened?
Pay her no mind. That's just how she is.
Who is she?
That's Amelia Estelle, the university's prodigy. She's only a teenager, but already a mage caster, which means she can manipulate 2 different elements at the same time.
I flash her a grateful smile for automatically explaining what a mad mage caster is. I'm guessing mage casters are usually older than a teen. Leanna grins.
Just a little. Most mage casters are in their 40s.
Most mage casters are in their 40s. My eyes widen. She must really be something special then.
Anyway, thank you for all of your help, Professor.
I'm sorry I wasn't able to be more helpful, but I wish you the best of luck on your journey.
After saying goodbye, his wheelchair moved on his own and pushes him out of the room. I knew it! He's moving it with his mind!
He's actually using wind magic.
With his mind. Leanna shoots me a weird look.
What did you think of everything the professor said?
It sounds exactly like what happened to me. We should find this Ember Mist city and talk to the professor there. She nods.
Unfortunately, no one knows how to get there. Let's stop by the inn. Since it's a hub for travelers from all over, there's bound to be someone who knows something.
That sounds like our best course of action. Once agreed, Leanna leads the way out of the academy. I follow her through the twisting roads of Illumina. When asked why we were taking so many turns, she said she wanted to avoid the marketplace, which would be so crowded with people we wouldn't be able to walk through. Soon we reached the inn. The place is a lot larger than any other inn we've stayed at so far. It looks like the same damn inn! It looks like the same place we've been to! You got the banners, You got the staircase, you got the fireplace, you got the... How is this bigger? Along with the smoothly crafted dining tables, there is a fireplace along the far wall with labeled jars on the mantle. The place is fairly busy for this time of day, and only a couple of tables are open. Per usual. Ooh, yeah, there could be bigger upstairs, bigger beds, which means bigger bedrooms. Per usual, Leanna speaks with the innkeeper. I see him point towards a couple by the fireplace. When she returns, she drops the key in my hand.
Here's the key to your room. I figured we're going to be spending the night here.
I nod as I pocket my key.
The innkeeper doesn't know how to get to Ember Mist, but he says that couple comes from the far desert. They might know.
Maybe we should split up. We can cover more ground that way.
Good idea. I'll go talk to that couple first.
Okay. As Leanna walks off, I survey the room. Ask the group of adventurers, ask the cute girl, or ask the loner in the corner. B? B? Okay, B. I approach the pretty red hair by the bar. Hey there! She smiles.
Hi.
Are you looking to join a party?
I can be.
I sit down beside her. Have you been here long? She gives me a curious look.
Long enough to know that I haven't seen you before.
I'm just passing through.
Oh, where are you headed?
The Ember Mist. Suddenly her smile drops. That's not the reaction I was expecting.
Ember Mist doesn't exist.
I frown. I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. Alright, never mind then. Her smile drops again and she grabs her drink. She sways her hips as she walks, approaching a man who's drinking alone. Her alluring smile smiles as she sits down beside him and touches his hand. Wait a minute, is she She's the USS Chinatown, ladies and gentlemen. We found the Chinatown. We found the Chinatown in the video. In the game. Let's pretend that just didn't happen. Ask the group of adventurers or ask the loner in the corner. The loner usually travels the world, don't they? I approach the man sitting in the far corner of the inn. His head is down as he nurses a tankard. Once I get close, I recognize him. Zach? His head shoots up and stares at me with those familiar stoic eyes.
Oh, it's you.
You finished whatever you came here to do?
Yep.
Cool. He's just as talkative as ever.
You finish up at the academy?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Mages usually are.
One of them told me about the city of Amber Mist. Zach snorts.
Sending you on a wild goose chase, huh?
I guess that means you don't know where it is either.
Nope.
Well, it was worth a shot. Alright, it was good seeing you. Looks like I'm not having much luck. I wonder how Leanna is doing. Judging from her pout, she had almost as much success as I did. We make our way back to the bar.
Greetings.
It's pink-haired girl! Amelia waits for us by a bar, and I'm just startled to see her presence. Leanna looks just as shocked.
What are you doing here?
I've come to accompany you on your journey.
Professor Xavier made it very clear that you were to stay at the academy.
His logic is rational, but my presence and assistance is far more beneficial for you than it is for me to remain at the academy.
What assistance?
I am aware of the location of Ember Mist.
How is that possible?
How I know is irrelevant.
Alright, if you know, then tell us where it is.
I will gladly impart this knowledge unto you should you accept me as a travel companion.
She sounds more Romulan than Vulcan. I mean, Romulans try to get a benefit out of it. Vulcans are just... She looks weird.
But the Academy won't let you go.
She shrugs.
If I cannot go, then I suppose neither can you.
She has more bug-eyed eyes than her. I mean, look how round her eyes are. They look like freaking bug eyes. And she's not that, well endowed. Then she is younger. Is she the legal lolly? She's the legal lolly. Leanna bites her lip. I can tell she's torn. I think we should let her join, or this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea.
I know, but she's her only lead.
I guess he was done here. Yeah, but is it worth the fury of the entire academy? Leanna frowns.
I'm not happy about this either, but what else can we do?
Is that gonna, are you adding that to the quotes? 42? We struck out when we tried to ask the patrons at the inn. Other than Amelia, I doubt we'd find anyone else who can lead us to Amber Mist. Maybe I'm in the wrong and we should take her. Now I'm just confusing myself. I don't know. Leanna runs her hand through her hair as she thinks. She steals glances at Amelia, who watches us with hawk eyes. Finally, Leanna's expression softens and she nods.
Fine. You can come with us, but only on the condition that you let us bring extra protection.
Yes! We should bring extra protection. We need to have more condoms. Twice as many. We need twice as many condoms.
That is a logical conclusion. I am not opposed to it.
Yep, she's definitely Vulcan. She's a Vulcan girl. Definitely Vulcan.
All right. I'll see if I can find some mages last minute.
No!
Both Leanna and I stare at Amelia.
Mages will alert the Academy of our proposal.
Then they won't let us go.
Correct.
I suppose that makes sense.
She taps a finger toward her chin.
I guess the only other option is to hire a mercenary.
Oh no. Are we really? No. 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 I grin. I just have the person in mind. Look at the two of them to where Zach is sitting.
Hey, Zach!
He looks up from his tankard if he's surprised he doesn't show up.
I didn't expect to see you so soon.
You're feeling a little bit of separation anxiety. To my surprise, Zach cracks a smile.
I'm actually here to do business.
Zach cocks his head slightly.
You have my attention.
We need
Welcome
protection
back
for our
down
newest
here.
companion.
You can't hear me? Yeah, you can. I'm talking. I guess. Can you hear me? Is this better? better? Is this better? Wait. Let me see. Advanced audio. Yeah, it's definitely. That's definitely. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. Lower in-game music. Like that? Is that good?
Isn't she a mage?
Isn't she amazing? Yeah, she's amazing. I guess done here was done there. And he came back! Welcome back, done here.
Yes, but a student.
That is not an accurate description. I am.
Leanna glances at her. Glares at her.
A student.
While not untrue, I have fulfilled the necessary curriculum to be considered.
Amelia!
Leanna is clearly exacerbated. Amelia cocks her head to the side and studies Leanna curiously. Anyway, what we're trying to ask is, are you for hire and will you accept the job? Zach pauses and takes a long swig from his drink. He looks from me to Leanna to Amelia, then pauses again. Finally, he nods.
All right.
Really? That's great. We're headed to Ember Mist.
Zach raises an eyebrow at me.
You found someone who knows the way.
Yep. I point to Amelia.
Interesting.
Alright, now that we have our team, what do we do now?
There's no point in beginning our journey when the sun is almost gone.
That's true.
I should return to the academy before my disappearance is observed.
Good idea. We can reconvene here tomorrow morning.
The three of us leave Zach alone and Amelia head out of the inn. Just as she leaves, a group of young adults burst in. They laugh loudly and cheeks are flustered as if from dancing or running. A circlet of flowers is on each of their heads. Leanna gasps.
Oh, the festival!
Festival?
Yeah, it's a celebration of the spring equinox. Do you want to go check it out?
Should we check it out? Should we check it out? Hey! Okay. Sounds fun! Leanna grins.
It is. It's one of my favorite festivals.
Uh-oh, looks like we got a flag here. I think the flags have started, but okay. We exit the inn. Although the moon has traded places in the sky with the sun, the streets are still bustling with people. Leanna and I follow the crowd until we reach the town square. I don't know where Blob is. Colored strings of crystals lights hang from the large cherry trees lining the perimeter of the square. Their lights spill soft rainbows on the smiling faces of the townsfolk. The heavenly aroma of spices and grilled meat entices me towards the festivities. A simple stand is set up on one side of the square where musicians play a jauntly tune. The top of their feet in time in the beat as dancers whirl around the center of the square. As we pass through the square, giggling girls offer circlets of flowers. Leanna happily accepts hers and lets the girl place it on her head.
It's so beautiful. Everything.
Everything looks so different. Her eyes sparkle as she taps her feet to the rhythm of the music as she watches the pairs of dancers jumping and twirling. For the first time since we've met, Leanna's face holds no trace of caution. Her eyes are drawn to her as her smile lights up her entire face. She turns towards me and I quickly look away. I hope she didn't catch me staring.
Would you like to dance?
I think we... Uh-oh! Okay. A, I'm up for dancing. B, time for some bumping and grinding. C, can you handle my mad boy skills? Or D, I can't dance. Oh, heck yeah, trust me, I got moves.
Oh, really?
She moves back to give me some space. I begin with a few dancey lunges from side to side, then jump down to my hands and twirl my legs around. I swing my legs up high and finish by spinning on the top of my head. When I get back up, a small crowd has formed.
Are you okay?
Leanna rushes to me, her eyes filled with concern.
You fell to the ground, and then we're spinning around.
Those were my breakdancing moves. Her eyes grow wide.
That was dancing?
Leanna tries to hold back her laughter and keep up a concerned facade.
Let me show you how we do it here.
She takes my hands in hers and pulls me to a more secluded area on the dance floor.
For this song, we're gonna raise our right hands up like this so they touch.
She bends her elbows and her elbow and holds up her arm to eye level. Then she moves my arm so it matches hers. I can feel the warmth in her fingers as they brush my own.
Our hands will stay here, and then we use our right foot to step to the right. Then left foot back. Then we'll shift our weight front and back in a ball change.
And as she speaks, she demonstrates the steps. Ah, shush! I'm tongue-tied here.
Then we do the same thing on the left. Left foot left, right foot back, and ball change.
Ball change? Okay.
Then we step to the right and spin from behind. Come on, try it with me.
This is like a waltz. Yeah, exactly, what the hell is a ball change? We get into position and Leanna counts off.
5, 6, 7, 8.
First I step. Uh-oh! Remember and repeat the same icon pattern. At least we won it with my awesome APM. Matching Leanna, I step with my right foot.
That's it.
And I step with my back foot to do a back into a ball. I think using the ball of your foot, like the heel or something like that. Next, we do the same thing on the left side. Then we step with our right foot and spin. Oh no. Apparently, even if you screw it up, you still win. I step to the right and spin from behind. Leanna and I are a step apart. Did we do this right? Are we supposed to be this far apart?
Yeah. Normally, we'd be facing our new partners, and we do the whole thing over again, starting with our left foot.
Oh, okay.
And once that's done, we'll be facing each other again.
Go through the steps another time and I managed to dance it perfectly.
Wow, you're a natural. Are you sure you've never done this before?
Her warm grin is infectious, and I find myself grinning just as broadly. It's because I had such a great teacher. Ooh. Her cheeks flush, and she is about to reply. Our gazes meet, and she's blushing. Leanna's breath catches her in her throat and seems to forget what she's about to say. For a second, I forget about the crowds of people around us. All I can see is her. Then someone jostles us, and we look away quickly. What just happened here? I catch her glancing at me, and she smiles shyly.
So, do you think you're ready to join the rest of the dancers?
I'm game if you are. I hold up my hand and she accepts it with a coy smile. Then I lead her to the dance floor. We dance late into the night until our feet ache and our throats grow hoarse from laughing. The party's still going strong as Leanna and I return to the inn and head into our separate rooms. I haven't had that much fun in ages. As I fall into my bed, I enter dreamland with an immense smile on my face. Exactly! Separate rooms! I hate how they... Meh. I know! The next morning, we recoup downstairs at the inn as planned.
Is everyone now prepared to begin our journey?
We nod.
Then let us depart.
Okay, Spock. Or is she T'Pau? We should rename her as T'Pau or T'Pol, because those are the two female Vulcans. T'Pau was cuter though. She leads the way out of the inn and back into the quiet city. Remnants of last night's festival litter the grounds in the shades of petals and general debris. The cleanup detail is hard at work. They wear thick gloves as they have hardly removed its decorations and debris. I wonder how long they've been working on this. The festivities continued even after I threw in my hat and went to bed. Leanna and I share a glance, and she smiles. We follow Amelia through the twists and the turns of the city. Where exactly are we going now?
To the Crystal Rail Station.
Crystal Rail? Sounds like it might be a train. Leanna speaks up before I even ask.
Where are we taking the crystal rail to?
Bazada.
She looks up in surprise.
Ember Mist is in Bazada?
They say you can find anything there.
She shoots Zack a look when he returns with his usual stony glaze. Gaze! Not glaze. What the fuck? Stony glaze. He looks like a stoner too! What's so surprising about Bazada?
It's just closer than I expected.
No, Ember Mist is not within Bazada, but Bazada is the closest station to the location of Ember Mist.
Leanna still seems skeptical but doesn't push it. I guess we'll find out whether or not Amelia is right. We continue the rest of the way in silence. After a few minutes, we arrive at the station. The setup is a simpler version of our train stations back home. The ticket booth is right across from the entrance. While they sort out retrieving tickets, I look around. Vendors selling food and trinkets line perimeter of the enclosed station. The building is mostly empty at this time of morning.
We must hurry if we wish to catch the next crystal rail. It is nearing the platform.
Once we get our tickets, we rush down the back hallway which opens up to the platform. Arriving onto the platform is a sleek bullet train, porcelain white with windows dotting the sides. My jaw drops as I watch it hover over the tracks. A pair of long crystal rails run along the bottom of the train with identical crystal rows lining the track. This is so cool! Or, it's not a big deal. B. A. I cross my arms. Obviously the crystals below have to do with keeping the train up, but otherwise I bet it'll just run like a normal train. Leanna glances back at me and fails to hide her giggle. What is it?
Nothing. It's just, you two are making the same face right now.
Wait. I glance over. Wow! She just called us Zach. She related to us as Zach. I glance over at Zach, who looks back at me. We both have our arms crossed in an unimpressed look in our faces. Zach nods at me, which I return. He gets it.
Poi.
The Pongo's eyes let the crystals on the train. Its mouth opens in anticipation. Leanna notices and snatches him up. Blob has arrived! Hey Minnie, how we doing? Minnie, you missed like a good almost 2 hours worth. The hell are you doing?
Poi.
He wiggles at first, but after she gives him a few pats on the head, he calms down and grins at her. We're about to board the train when the attendant stops us.
Sorry, Pongas are not allowed due to equipment which are sensitive to energy absorption.
Oh,
Leanna looks sadly at the blue guy in her arms.
I'm sorry, my friend, but I think this is where we say goodbye.
He blinks back at her in confusion, a worried smile on his face.
Poi.
Leanna's lip trembles.
I'm sorry.
She gives him a final hug and sets him down on the ground. With the glassy eyes full of tears, she rushes onto the train. The Pongo blinks.
Poi. Poi.
Amelia cocks her head to the side and looks at it. The Pongo mimics her.
Poi.
I have not known you long, but I will be saddened to see you go.
Shut up, Spock. She nods and hops onto the train. Zack looks at the Pongo and instinctively his hand protects his guns.
Try not to eat anyone else's weapon.
Poi. Poi.
The Pongo blinks at Zack's retreating form. Finally, it's my turn. I'll miss you! Or I guess this is a goodbye. B? I'll admit, you're not so bad. I pat Blobberetto on the head. Try not to get into too much trouble. He fixes me with the same confused stare he gave the others.
Poi.
Bye! I follow the others onto the train. While other people board the train, I join the rest of the group. Leanna tries to control her sniffles while Amelia looks down at her feet. Zack acts as casual as always, but the nod he gives me feels lackluster. We're all feeling the loss of the Pongo. It was my first friend. I came to this world. Well, this is a very long game. This is gonna be... I guess this might take... You know... maybe another 6 hours? I think the overall game is like between 10 and 15 hours of gameplay. We passed through a few cars before we finally find a cabin towards the end of the train. Amelia slides the door open. Slides open the door, then shuts it immediately.
Impossible.
What's going on? She opens the door again, and we all peer inside. Inside the cozy cabin are plush seats, a rack above the seats to hold any luggage, and a rectangular table in the center. There's also a Pongo. God damn it! I think you gotta recant your statement, 42. Also, there was a Pongo bouncing happily on the seats.
Boy, boy.
Pongo!
Blabberetto! Leanna's. Oh, look how cute she's posing! Leanna squeals excitedly and scoops him back up into a big hug. We all file into the cabin after and shut the door before anyone notices the Pongo. When Leanna notices her stares, she clears her throat and sets him back down.
But how did you get in here?
Seriously, weren't you just outside a second ago? How'd you get in here and find our cabin before we did?
Boy.
Impossible.
I think the Pongo broke Amelia. Zack, as unfazed as always, plops down in one of the seats and leans back.
Some things just can't be explained.
With how often the Pongo seems to disappear and reappear unexpectedly, you'd think we'd be used to it by now. I take a seat as well, and the Pongo hops into my lap. Lena pouts as the Pongo moves away from her. Oh, she's saddened. Oh, how the aircraft... You know, 42, if you just take that line out of context without knowing the game behind it, just take that sentence as a standalone sentence. Like how the aircraft carrier broke into your room yesterday. And you think of this huge, massive ship just coming into your bedroom. Amelia seems to have... Morel's confused. Why? Not much later, I feel the jerk of the train departing and hear the calming hum of the engine. Both Leanna and Amelia stare out the window. Zack has his head down and his arms crossed. I think he may be asleep, but it's hard to tell. Remembering how I found him at the campsite, I can only assume this guy can literally sleep anywhere. My eyes feel droopy too. I really went all out last night and did not get enough sleep. I doubt anyone would mind if I caught up with the few hours I lost. When I awaken, everyone is awake too and looking more bored than ever. Only the Pongo snoozes in my lap. How long was I asleep for? Leanna glances at me.
Just a few hours.
Are we almost there?
No. We will not arrive before tomorrow.
Oh! So we're going to be in this compartment until tomorrow. All night. Okay. Tomorrow?
Yes.
I like trains. Yeesh, what am I going to do with all the spare time? I automatically reach into my pocket to pull up my phone, forgetting for a second that it doesn't work. Shoot! But then my hand closes on something equally good. I pull out my deck of cards and lay them on the table. Leanna cranes her neck to see better.
What do you have there?
My cards! I cut the deck and shuffled them. Want to play something? There's enough people we can play cheat.
How do you play that?
It's easy. Each round you put a card from your hand face down in the center of the table, and you say what the card is. Like this. Put down one card as an example. One king. Then everyone else at the table can decide whether or not I'm telling the truth. If you think I'm lying, you call cheater, and I'll have to reveal the card. If I was lying, then I'd take all the cards in the pile. If I was telling the truth, then whoever accused me of taking all the cards in the pile in the next person starts a new round. You win by having no cards. So cheat is basically you go around and you put down a card and you have to call what it is, and if someone guesses it wrong, they get the card. And the cards just go back and forth until... I'd rather play strip poker with this girl though. But hey, what do I know? I just know how to have fun.
Sounds like fun. I'll play.
Amelia looks thoughtful.
Although I have not partaken in this game before, this sounds like it would be a stimulating challenge.
I glance at Zach. You in? He shakes his head.
I'll pass.
Leanna frowns.
Why not? I know that mercenaries love card games. And it's not like there's much else to do while we wait.
It's just not my type of game.
Let's up the stakes here. Should we up the stakes, or should we guess no game then? Up the stakes? What do you guys think? Minnie! Minnie! Get your ass over here, Minnie! I know you're in the stream. I know you're in the chat. He left? What? Fuck. Okay, let's raise the stakes. As a mercenary, I think I know what can spark his interest. What if we play for money? Zach sits up and looks at me.
I thought you didn't have money.
I do have money. I fish my pocket and drops the loose change I have on the table. It's just not usable here. Amelia leans in close and peers at the money. Even Leanna takes on an interesting glance.
I fail to recognize this type of currency.
Well, it's not exactly from Astoria. Astoria? Amelia stares intently at me again. After a long pause, she looks back at the coins.
I see.
I point out the different types of change I have. Make sure you get the pennies, they're the most valuable.
Are these not made from copper?
Yes.
And the nickel would be made from nickel.
Also yes.
Then suffice it is to say, should not the nickel be more valuable than the penny?
Damn, she got me. Zach leans back into his seat.
If it's not money I can use, then I'm not interested.
Zach.
I will pay you for his coins.
Zach sits back up.
Go on.
For any coin of his you receive, I will trade you one of our coins.
Amelia, you really don't have to do that.
I know.
Leanna looks uneasy between Zach and Amelia.
All right. Deal.
Zach frowns when he looks at his hand.
These cards are strange.
Like I said, I'm not from Astoria. I give a brief rundown of the suits and face cards, and I look up from my hand. I see Amelia staring at me. This is getting a little uncomfortable. Let's start the bet. We all throw our coins on the table. I'll go first. I drop a card face down at the table. 110. Silence, no one reacts. Okay, Lee. Oh, so you can basically say if no one says anything, it just goes to the next person.
Okay.
She slides the card on the table, her face completely blank.
1, 2.
Okay, cheat or pass? I bet she's telling the truth. No one day calls her out either. Amelia's go. Her face is more stoic than Leanna's. Amelia places a card on the table.
1 queen.
She's more stoic, but she's a Vulcan. So, you want to pass it? We pass. I don't think she's cheating. Again, neither anyone else does. Maybe they're just not quite understanding how to play, although I guess it's just the first round. Finally, it's Zach's go. In usual Zach's fashion, he stoically slips the card down.
2 8s.
Cheater.
Whoa, she was fast. We count how many cards each person has in their hands, and whoever has the lowest number so far has to click the first rounds of bets. Then we throw in our next round of bets. Okay, it's me again. Stay with truth, or do we cheat? It's our turn, we gotta put a card down. So do we tell them the truth, or do we cheat? Okay, we got 1 cheat, and we got 1 stay with truth. I'll do the tiebreaker here. I'll stay with truth. Better stick with truth. Poker face or show and tell? Maybe I should mess with him a little. I purposely let it slip in my face that I might be lying. 2 3s! Leanna calls me out.
Cheater!
I flip over my cards to reveal 2 3s.
You tricked me.
I grin as he grabs the cards. Leanna looks slightly worried at her hand, then smooths her face.
2 aces.
Wait, what was the last? Looks slightly worried at her hand and smooths her face. 2 aces. I think she's bluffing. She looks slightly worried at her hand, then smooths her face. I saw that moment of worry. She's definitely cheating. Cheater! Oh no, I got the 2 aces! You used my own strategy against me, I see.
It was too good to resist.
I can't believe we fell for our own. Amelia puts down her cards.
2 7s.
Pass? Pass? Should we pass this one because we just don't know what's going on? I mean, she just put the cards down. Her poker face is just too good. I can't tell if she's cheating or not, so I'm going to stay silent. Nobody else calls her out. Without delay, Zach lays down his cards.
2 5s.
Before anyone else has a chance, Amelia calls out.
Cheater.
Zach grumbles under his breath as he collects the pile. Amelia looks smug at Zach's disgruntledness. I bet this round goes to the winner and we start a new pot. Back to me again. Should we do the same as... Should we cheat? This time? Should we cheat this time? Time to trick everyone. Put a poker face. No, if we cheat and act nervous, they'll know that we're... Okay, let's act nervous. I have a terrible poker face and I push to keep my face still with only draws more attention to me as I slip 2 cards onto the table. All 3 voices ringing out at once.
Cheater.
I knew it!
Cheater.
Cheater!
I sigh and flip over my cards to reveal a two of hearts. Leanna lays down her card looking confident.
One king.
Just looking confident at it. You wanna do cheat? She's looking confident. She could be bluffing. Cheater!
Nope.
Damn, we got this one. Well, we lost it. They reveal a king. Shoot. I should have seen that coming. I'd collect the card. Amelia wears the same snowy face and slips down a card.
One jack.
Pass. Or cheat? You want to cheat this one or pass? Cheat? Cheater. Oh, we got her. We got her. Zach plays his card.
1-6.
Again, Amelia is faster than anyone else.
Cheater.
Zach growls in frustration.
How do you know every single time?
How do you? This is like rage. This is like he's about to rage quit. He's like, fuck you guys, I'm going home. Amelia just stares at him with a blank stare, which frustrates Zach even more.
This is the dumbest game ever.
Screw you guys, I'm going home. He throws his cards down at the table and knocks over the coins before crossing his arms. Anna jumps away at the table as Zach hits it. Her eyes wide. I'm a little taken aback and jolt back, which wakes the Pongo, and Amelia remains unfazed.
Poi poi?
So, should we keep playing?
Of course.
Oh, he's like... Zach picks his cards back up. Leanna and I gaze at each other and burst out laughing. At first, Amelia looks at us in bewilderment, but her laughter is so contagious that she breaks a smile.
Are we playing or what?
We resume our game with smiles all around. The longer we played, the more into this game everyone became. Needless to say, Amelia correctly guessed Zach's cheats every single time, much to Zach's ever-growing frustration. In the end, I won the game with the first to run out of cards. When we were tired of cheat, I taught him a couple other games. It was late into the night, and we all decided to turn in and go to sleep. The sun shines brightly through the window and splashes on my face, forcing me awake. Leanna and Amelia are both already awake, but Zach still has his head down as if he's still asleep. I look outside and squint at the sky. What time is it?
It's already past noon. We slept through the entire morning.
We did? Leanna giggles at my alarm.
Normally that would be a bad thing, but in this case it's okay. We're almost at Bazara.
Bazara! I nod. Zach gradually wakes up and we all make sure we have our things. After another hour or two, the train stops and announces our arrival to Bazara. The sun hangs high in the sky as one by one we step off the train. As soon as I step foot in the city, I'm surrounded by the sound of voices. Makeshift stalls line the sides of the roads and alleys as people pack the streets. Traders entice onlookers to view their wares, and customers haggle in heated shouting matches. I am falling asleep a little bit. I've been talking non-stop for 2 hours. My jaw's getting tired. Give me a little while. I'm gonna get some water. Well, we could always resume it later if you guys want. It's no big deal. I was just, if you guys want to take a quit for now and come back in say 2 hours, and continue at 9 for part 3, we can do that too. It doesn't matter. Okay, you gotta go anyways. So why don't we save it here? Because we just started. Oh,
We have arrived in Basada.
yeah, that's actually a better saving area. So let's save it here. We've arrived at Basada. I think that this is the best way to start it because we know exactly where we are, and we'll continue it tomorrow. I think Incursus streams at what? 9 or 7? What time does Incursus stream on Saturdays? 9 or 7? Okay, so why don't we plan on tomorrow about, No, I don't want to stream before. I want to stream before him, so how about we plan on 6 o'clock? That way we got about 2 hours, which would be 7, 8, and then we got an hour and a half until Incursus starts streaming. So yeah, we can start then, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Night, everyone.